August 6th, 2002. In the area around the southern Russian town of Novorossiysk, the Black Sea coast has been hit by heavy rains. In the first few hours, the rainfall is equivalent to what they usually see in an average 2-month period. The rains continue for several days, setting the stage for mudslides, floods, sewage treatment spills and contamination, and other serious environmental damage. Streams and creeks overrun their banks, threatening nearby towns and villages. Due to the sheer amount of water, a number of destructive floods and mudslides are reported. One massive one has washed away almost 1,000 feet of the Sochi-Tuapse railway line. Near Novorossiysk, a railway tunnel collapses with 5 passenger trains trapped inside. There's rubble everywhere and the trains can't go forward or back. In some areas of Novorossiysk, the water levels rise by 4 to 4.5 feet. One-story buildings were flooded to the rooftops. The city's urban collector reservoir fails. Part of the city, located on the banks of the Semes River, literally flows into the sea, along with many people, cars, and the flotsam and jetsam of destroyed buildings. Even the swans and geese are having trouble. Tourists flee to the bus and train stations to leave the resort area, but the roads are washed out and the few trains that are still running are running very late, as much as half a day to a day behind. People set up camp and start living at the train station in Sochi. Days into the deluge, most communication lines have been completely lost. Rescuers try to evacuate people in the most volatile danger zones. They succeed in evacuating over 1,500 people into surrounding higher ground, but not everyone wants to go. Some tourists are hoping to wait out the vagaries of nature. Similarly, local residents don't want to leave their homes, feeling they'd be looted or destroyed in their absence. Little did they know the elements were only resting up for a minute, gaining momentum. 3 nearby villages are soon hit by a huge tornado that basically destroys everything in its path. The sea contributes a 25-foot killer wave to add to the destruction and misery. Sort of like a potluck of disaster. Houses are turned into piles of rubble. People are killed by mud, flood, wind, rain, rogue waves, and tornadoes. Survivors flee to roofs and poles and wait for rescuers, wondering what they could have done to have drawn so much of nature's fury. Think of a natural disaster: floods, mudslides, fires, tidal wave, tornado, and it pretty much went on during this period in and around Novorossiysk. Meanwhile, the endless rains and wind prove too much for the local reservoir, and the dam breaks. The ensuing wall of water hits the village like a kick in the teeth. At this time of year, there's usually a campground in the village. In a few minutes, it's gone, and along with it, everyone who'd been camping there. Eventually, the rains stopped, but the cleanup was long.